Okay. Okay, I would like to introduce our guest speaker, Selasie Dotse, a Ghanaian-American chef and founder of, oh, I can never, please, I'm terrible at this. I should have practiced. Please correct, just say it for me because I'm so, so sorry.
Halade Test Kitchen.
Thank you. See, I'm gonna never forget that now because of this. At Alade Test Kitchen, an Afro-diasporic fine dining concept, which just had a pop-up this weekend that I missed, and it was gorgeous. Exploring identity, migration, and memory through food. Through pop-ups and curated dining experiences, their work explores the intersections of identity, migration, and hospitality, while celebrating the richness of African diasporic cuisine. Beyond the kitchen, Chef is passionate about mentorship, creating pathways for emerging hospitality professionals, and advocating for mental health and wellness within the culinary industry. The work also centers community, cultural preservation, and reimagining hospitality as a space for care, connection, and belonging, which is so amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us, and I will let you take the floor.
Thank you for that amazing introduction, Vanessa. Hello, everybody. My name is Selasie Dotse. I'm a chef and consultant currently based in the DMV in Virginia, in Alexandria. I was born in Ghana, came to the States when I was 3, grew up in the South, primarily in Georgia and North Carolina. Was previously in the San Francisco Bay Area for about 7, 8 years before moving to the DMV in 2024. Started cooking, in my mom's kitchen from a very young age. Had my first restaurant job when I was 16, and I've been in the industry for 20 plus years, which still blows my mind that I've been in the food and beverage industry for that long. I've worked in all different types of restaurants with all different types of cuisines, from casual and fine dining to even Michelin. And like I said, I have a pop up dining series that features Pan African food in a fine dining light. And I literally just did a pop up this past weekend. But yeah, mental health is something that like maybe I haven't like recently gotten into, but definitely in my time in the Bay, realizing that like we work hard and we need to be able to take care of ourselves. And the only people who can really like look out for ourselves is ourselves. I mean, it hasn't been easy trying to maintain my mental health in this industry. A lot of restaurants don't really care about mental health, and we're always told to just leave our problems at the door and just come in and do the work, which is not like the best. And that's how I've operated up until, my time in the Bay was just like work, 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 and do more, do more, do more, but not taking care of myself. But it hasn't been the easiest trying to sustain my mental health, due to the toxic culture and the environment of the industry, where it's abusive, it's exploitative, it's punitive, and there's a hyper focus on perfection. The staff is treated as being, disposable, like they get rid of us like we're nothing. Wages are trash. The leadership, no one really like looks like me. It's always white men who are running things. Don't see a lot of black people in fine dining, which leads to the isolation of being the only or one of few in most fine dining kitchens. And then on top of that, the hospitality industry has a legacy of enslavement. So there's what's the word? There's a lot of like um uh I just had the word and I lost it. But there's just a lot of like, I don't want to say like residual. I just lost my train of thought. Sorry, guys. But meaning that like the industry has a legacy of white supremacy, classism, and uh, patriarchy. Some of the things that have made it hard to sustain my mental health is not having access to healthcare in this industry. You know, a lot of employers don't provide healthcare. So without healthcare, you don't really have the access to get the mental health services and resources that may be available. And then just the hours, you know, working 8 plus, and by 8 plus, I mean 10, 12, 14 hours a day, not being paid well has left like little time, energy, and capital for rest, self care, and mental health resources. Um, I've definitely had my struggles in the industry. You know, I've had a lifelong struggle with anxiety and depression that has been exacerbated by working in the industry for the reasons that I discussed before. There have been times in my career where I've woken up with just extreme dread and anxiety attacks and nauseousness and just feeling very like overwhelmed and just like, I don't want to do this today. Like, I'm not in the right headspace, but I still have to go to work because work is work. Especially working in fine dining has been extremely stressful, especially when it comes for that constant need for everything has to be perfect every day, no matter what. And my mental health has probably been its worst when I've been in like a leadership role. So like a sous chef or an executive sous, a CDC, where I've been pushed to work like almost 7 days a week, 6 days a week, 18, 20 plus hours a day, navigating homophobia, transphobia, misogynoir, with my staff, peers, my superiors. I've had to work twice as hard to get any type of respect or to be taken seriously. And then also I have to pick up the slack of my cis male colleagues, which is like, it's very stressful because sometimes I just want to show up and do my job and go home and not necessarily have to like fix everyone else's mess ups. I think a rock bottom story that I could probably share that made me realize that I need to take a step back is I moved across the country for a sous chef opportunity here in the DMV, and I was putting in like 20 plus hours a day, 6 days a week. My commute was an hour each way. My housing was unstable. I had literally just totaled my car before moving. So the stress was at like top, 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 top. Pressure was at its max. Without warning, I was let go from that job. Without warning, I also lost my housing. So after I was let go, I felt very betrayed, but also came to the realization that giving my mind, my body, my soul, blood, sweat, and tears for a restaurant and a business that didn't actually care about me or my well-being wasn't worth like the mental toll and the physical toll and the emotional toll that was being taken on myself. So after that experience, I realized I need to take a step back from leadership. I had already taken a step back from restaurants just because the pressure became so much that I actually left restaurants for 2 years before coming back. But this job definitely made me realize I have to take some time back to like focus on getting settled in the DMV, building my community, building my brand, and generally just like recovering and rehabbing from, you know, just the pressure of being a manager in another fine dining space. Um, some of the actions that I've taken to like better my life and better the stresses that I've been dealing with is setting boundaries and taking a step back from leadership was definitely a big action. Some of the tools that I use for setting boundaries are I don't dedicate my whole life to the job anymore. At one point, I was like, oh, this is me. Like, cooking's what I want to do. Like, this is all I want to do. But now I'm like, it's not worth it. It's not worth that stress to just burn myself out for someone else's business. Um, Connecting with my loved ones and my support outside of work, checking in with myself and knowing my limits, listening to my body. Taking time off is a big one. Now that I have access to PTO and sick days, I definitely make sure to use them. Before, like, I didn't really have them, so it was hard to take time off. Uh, I've gotten big into stretching. I stretch every day. I have a little app on my phone that I use to just stretch, being better about my health when it comes to like eating better and exercising. There's a gym in my apartment that I've started using. Now that I have healthcare and health insurance, I have time to like go to the doctor, go to the dentist, things that I have never really been able to do. And not being forced to work overtime if it's not paid. Now that I'm not a manager and I'm just an hourly employee, they have to pay me for any overtime. And if I don't want to work overtime, I can say no. I can say no, I don't want to work. No, thank you. And like they can't force me to. Um, some other actions that I've done are building connections with other Black and brown people in the industry, other queer people in the industry, uh, collaborating with them for pop-ups, going to and participating in Black food festivals. So uh, I've participated in the Bay Haven Food and Wine Festival, the Black Food and Wine Experience in the Bay Area, and Kwame Nwache's family reunion. So just being around more chefs that look like me and understand what I'm going through in the industry. I currently work in a primarily Black kitchen too, Dogon. So every day that I walk in, I see people that look like me. I see people that like speak like me. And then I'm also building and maintaining my BIPOC community in the industry. It's been very important to me. Some ways that I've been able to stay resilient in my journey is by reminding myself of what I've been through, what I've survived, and how much I've grown. Reminding myself that my work and my position does not define me. It's okay to take breaks and to take setbacks. Just telling myself that I'm worthy of rest, joy, and pleasure, which is something that I never really took seriously. Like I said, it was just always work, 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 work. I'll rest when I'm dead. I'll sleep when I'm dead. Reminding myself that it's okay to be that it's okay to struggle, and that I'm not alone in this. I'm not the only one who struggles with mental health. Um, and that I do my best to live in my values and my integrity, bringing all parts of me to everything that I do, and always speaking my mind and my truth, even if it like makes other people feel uncomfortable and disturbs the false harmony of the workplace. I'm not afraid to be like, hey, that's not okay, you shouldn't say that, you shouldn't do that. Speaking up, which is something like I never really had done, but as I've gotten older, I'm like, we can't keep operating like this. We need to speak up and say when things are messed up. um I don't know if my life is necessarily better, right? I mean, it's getting better. I wouldn't say it's like 100%, but I do feel better, and I know that I do better when I'm living my most authentic life, and I'm tending to all parts of myself and my life, and I'm able to take care of myself. I think one thing that I harp on and focus on telling people as I've, worked through the industry, and now that I'm a little bit older, is it's just food. It's never that serious. We're not curing cancer. We're not saving lives. We're just cooking for people. We're just feeding people. There's no point in like having someone stress you out because you forgot a prep item or you're having a bad day and you aren't as jovial as everyone else, you know? Like just focus on taking care of yourself and not letting people make you feel bad because you want to take care of yourself. So, yeah, it's not that serious. It's just food. There are more important things. But yeah, I don't really have much else to add.
It's totally fine. You're right on time anyway.
Oh, perfect. Nice.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. I'm going to stop the recording and so we can open up the floor for questions and